So our first exercise is one, we have to get in tune with our body in that way, right? We have to now open up the channels. Like I've said, the brain is very hardwired to filter out everything. So we have to actively learn how to take down those guards and keep them conditioned to take them down. And then there's some people that go on the opposite end of the spectrum and they're just a raw nerve and they feel everything and they get distracted by all those things. We have to understand we can control the floodgates in that way. So Scott, you haven't played with this. Kent, you have. Anita's great at this, right? So there's different spectrums, but it's always the same thing. You always have to start from the bottom up. For instance, when I'm training somebody to optimize their body, they could be the buffest person or a couch potato. If they don't not grounded by getting their feet in line, anything I'm going to do is not going to work very well. Does that make sense? So I have to get their feet working. And then the buff person like, oh, I got my feet working. I'm very grounded. I can squat 100 pounds. It's like, all right, but does your intrinsic muscles of your feet work? Because the more of your intrinsic muscles can work inside your feet, the more grounded you are. Does that make sense? So this is going to sound ridiculously simple, but by doing it and honing it, you get even better from where you're at, is the point of that. So I know it's going to sound simple, and you've probably done it before because it's not anything new, but you have to sit with it and watch how your brain's going to be like, this is so stupid, or I don't want to do this, or this is so 101. And then you're going to realize that you are getting your way because you're saying that shit, rather than realizing it's just the next stepping stone to the next thing. And the faster you can make through it, the more you're going to connect with your body, the more your nervous system drops down, the more that floodgate starts to open, the more information you get on the back end. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So Mr. Miyagi did one of these numbers back in the day, right? I want you just to do a Mr. Miyagi. And this is first exercise. So rub your hands until you feel a lot of heat generating. You're going to feel, I want you to, lost somebody else. I want you now to really, really, really go until you start to feel your fingerprints.
I got to put my phone down, Patrick.
Okay.
That's all. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. I have it set to only see people that are here, so no worries. So I want you to keep on going. I want you to rub really hard so you can actually feel some of your fingerprints. And you can almost like get it to the place where like, I feel my fingerprints on my pinky. I can feel my fingerprints on my ring finger. And I want you to really, really keep on going until you get all of your fingerprints and you know about it. And then don't stop for a second. I want you not to go this far apart. And I want you to relax your hands. Don't make them stark hard. Relax your hands. And then I want you to close your eyes for a second. And then I want you now to start to describe inside your head at first the sensation that you're feeling in between your hands. Now, does everybody get a sensation with their hands? Just nod their heads or yes or no?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. This is the simplicity of it now. So now this is the name of the game. You now need to be able to describe this, get more comfortable with this in that way. And this is where people stop. I feel my energy. Congrats. And they run off. But you have to remember, energy floats. It interacts with things. So now I want you to slowly, as slow as you possibly can, try to open your hands a little bit. And you're going to feel there is a resistance. It's almost like a magnetic pull. And I want you to move as slow as you possibly can. And as you pull as slow as you can, you're going to feel almost like on those tips of your fingertips, on the sensations where you're like, I feel my fingerprints. You're going to feel like little hooks pulling on there, trying to bring your hand back. Now I want you to find this one spot that you can pull as far as you can and it pulls back and your fingertips are going to start pulling a sensation.